Though he's been known as a DC character for decades, Black Adam's first appearance was in Marvel Family issue number 1, which was still a part of Fawcett Comics before they were rolled into DC. In the story, Black Adam was a fairly one-dimensional villain. He wanted revenge on the wizard Shazam and wanted to take over the universe. His origin was given as, 5,000 years before the story, the Egyptian wizard Shazam chose the man Teth Adam to be his successor. And we're not told anything about the character of Teth Adam, he was just presumed to be worthy. But soon after getting his powers, he turned to evil. And while Shazam had originally called him Mighty Adam, after his switch to villainy, he was renamed Black Adam or Chem Adam, and the wizard Shazam sent him to the furthest star. This story picks up with Black Adam having spent 5,000 years traveling at the speed of light to return to Earth for revenge. Captain Marvel, which was the original name of the character Billy Batson to Shazam, had to fight Black Adam and figured out that they were of equal strength. And here is where I'll try to quickly explain the abilities of both Captain Marvel and Black Adam. So Captain Marvel is the modern day successor to the wizard Shazam's abilities. He was granted the power of 6 Greco-Roman heroes and deities, including the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the endurance of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. More or less, he has the same powers as Superman plus the ability to summon lightning, though I'm fairly certain that his physical strength might be just below Superman's level. Now, Black Adam was given the abilities of Egyptian gods, the strength of Shu, the stamina of Hershef, the power of Ammon, the wisdom of Zehudi, the speed of Anpu, and the courage of Mentu. And as I have already mentioned, he was on par with Captain Marvel. Now, I'm not going to explain the Marvel family, but Uncle Marvel tricked Black Adam into saying Shazam, which activates and deactivates his powers, and because he's 5,000 years old, when he was turned back into his normal human form, he died of old age. Black Adam wouldn't show up again until 1973 in issue 28 of Shazam, and this was after DC had already acquired Fawcett Comics. In this issue, Black Adam had been brought back to life by Captain Marvel's frequent enemy, Dr. Sivana, thinking that Black Adam would take out both Captain Marvel and the wizard Shazam. And Black Adam went along with it at first because he thought that with those two out of the way that he could take over the universe. He and Captain Marvel end up traveling through time due to flying faster than the speed of light. And once they end up in their own time, Black Adam is once again defeated by Uncle Marvel when he tricks him into saying Shazam, and he's put in jail. Now, he would have a few minor appearances here and there where he continues to come back and try to get revenge on Captain Marvel, but his appearance in DC Comics proper, which would be on Earth 1 at the time, was in the story Superman vs. Shazam, an issue of DC's all-new collector's edition from 1978. In this story, Black Adam was coerced by an evil wizard into tricking Superman into fighting Shazam, and to place a machine on Earth 1 and Earth S that would magnetically attract the two until they collided and destroyed each other. Though after Black Adam tricks the two into fighting each other, he disappears. His next appearance is in DC Comics Presents number 49, where he is once again summoned to Earth 1, and although he fights both Captain Marvel and Superman, he is defeated by the Earth 1 Billy Batson when he tricks Black Adam into saying Shazam, something he saw when he read the Captain Marvel comics. Because I guess in Earth 1, the Earth S characters are comic book characters, but also real at the same time. I can understand if you find it confusing. Now, the first big change for Black Adam's character would come from a story that he has a very background role in. That would be Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but to quickly summarize, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a multiversal disaster that ended with the destruction of the multiverse, but with the rebirth of a single positive universe and the antimatter universe. So in the story, you had Earth 2, where the original Justice Society of America comes from, and you have Earth 1, where the main DC heroes like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman come from, or at least the modern versions at the time. You had several different Earths, one of which was Earth S, home to the characters of Fawcett publications, including Captain Marvel and Black Adam. Now, with the destruction of the multiverse, the past of all these characters was erased, but in a way also fused together. So if you had multiple versions of the same character, on this new Earth, there was only one version that tried to combine the different versions together, which was the entire point of Crisis on Infinite Earths, because DC thought that there were too many alternate realities causing issues with continuity, so they fused it all into one single continuity. With this alteration to the backstory of all these characters, Black Adam's story was changed as well. His new origin would be given in Shazam: The New Beginning in 1987. In this mostly unchanged post-Crisis origin, Black Adam still received his powers from the wizard Shazam, and he turns evil, but instead of being sent to the furthest star, he's banished to another dimension, and instead of flying back on his own power, he was brought out of the alternate dimension by Dr. Sivana. Captain Marvel ends up using the same machine to send Black Adam back to that dimension at the end of the comic. Now in 1995, DC released the Power of Shazam graphic novel. Black Adam's origin would be changed yet again, along with that of Captain Marvel. In this new version, Billy Batson's parents were archaeologists studying the pyramid of Abu Simbel. Along with them was Theo Adam, a descendant of Black Adam who is more or less a henchman of Dr. Zavanna, and he ends up killing Billy's parents over a scarab necklace. Wearing the necklace transforms him into Black Adam. But he more resembles Theo Adam than Teth Adam in personality, even though he has Black Adam's full power set. Because he's kind of dumb and not as capable, Captain Marvel can beat him, and the wizard Shazam strips him of his powers and also renders him mute. Now personally, I didn't like this new origin for Black Adam. Even though he was very one-dimensional in his initial appearances, DC took what was a god and turned him into a low IQ crook with superpowers. But he does continue to make more appearances in the Power of Shazam ongoing series, where he ends up regaining his powers as well as the ability to speak. This is made possible by Blaze, the daughter of the wizard Shazam, who promises to release the soul of his sister from Hades if he helps her get revenge. Towards the end of the story, Black Adam ends up switching sides at the last minute and seemingly sacrifices himself, but is saved by a magical being named Ibis, who uses his power to send him to the furthest star, which mirrors his original origin. Towards the end of the same series, Black Adam returns to Earth and reveals that Theo Adam is no longer in control and that he wants to return to the hero that he once was. He even saves the life of Captain Marvel, earning him the trust of Marvel and the wizard Shazam. In an effort to clean up his image, Black Adam joins the Justice Society of America. But in true Black Adam fashion, he attacked them first as a member of the Injustice Society, though he reveals that he was only playing that side because the group's leader promised to remove a brain tumor that Black Adam had. While he is granted membership to the JSA, most of the members distrust him, especially Atom Smasher, who is tired of seeing seemingly reformed villains return to a life of crime. Though his attitude changes somewhat when he kills the villain Extant in revenge for his mother's death, and the two become friends. On Captain Marvel's part, his eyes are opened when he is sent back in time to ancient Egypt and learns that Black Adam actually was a hero in the past, that he had been trying to save the country of Kahndaq from a villain, and in doing so took up a position as its leader and protector. But the wizard Shazam saw this as Adam using his powers to rule a country through fear and banishes him. Captain Marvel also learns that Adam had a wife and son who were killed in Kahndaq while he was aiding the wizard Shazam in Egypt. I could be wrong, but I believe that this is the first mention of Black Adam having ruled Kahndaq and having a family before being banished. Despite this revelation, Black Adam and Atom Smasher would resign from the JSA after the villain Cobra was released during his trial, with both heroes believing that justice hadn't been done. This leads to the two killing Cobra and going around the world meting out their own idea of justice, including overthrowing the current dictatorship of Kahndaq, after which Black Adam sets himself up as ruler. This sets the eyes of the entire world on Kahndaq, and the JSA, led by Hawkman, go to stop him. But after a prolonged battle leading to a near stalemate, the JSA agree to leave Black Adam as ruler as long as he doesn't step foot outside the country. Though in reality, Black Adam was wiping the floor of the JSA, and he could have killed them if he kept going. For a short time, Black Adam would join Lex Luthor's secret society of supervillains in an effort to shore up support for Kahndaq, but he would end up getting used by not one, but two different versions of Lex Luthor during Infinite Crisis. And if you remember before, I mentioned Crisis on Infinite Earths and how it reduced the multiverse to one single Earth. Well, Infinite Crisis was another larger event that brought the multiverse back. This is also the event where Black Adam had his ass whooped by Superboy Prime, which is one of the very few times in his history when Black Adam was physically bested by anyone. If you've been paying attention to these stories, you'll notice that Black Adam rarely gets bested in combat, but rather he usually gets tricked into shouting Shazam or he gets banished from Earth somehow. Now, easily the most important event in the entire history of Black Adam would be World War III, where Black Adam as a one-man army takes on practically the entire world. Granted, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are not in the picture, which I'm not going to go into that. Just know that it has to do with the fallout from Infinite Crisis. So how did it get to the point of World War III? Well, first off, Black Adam was creating an international coalition that several countries and superhero teams saw as threatening. The criminal organization Intergang sought Black Adam's favor during this time, offering him allyship, money, and a female slave. Black Adam responded by rejecting the offer, killing the men, and freeing the slave. But this woman, named Adriana, convinces Black Adam that there is a better way to create hope and justice, and she starts to soften his heart. He grants her and her brother similar powers, and they become the Black Marvel family, which is not an evil reflection of the Marvel family. They actually travel the world performing good deeds. Osiris, the new name of Adriana's brother, herself called Isis, even joins the Teen Titans, and Black Adam even marries Isis. So everything seems to be going great for Adam. He has hope for the first time in thousands of years that he can have a family and be happy again. Unfortunately, Isis and Osiris are killed by 4 creatures known as the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which is created by Intergang. Black Adam kills 3 of them. One of them escapes to the neighboring country of Bialia, and he wipes it out. Like, he doesn't just kill the last horseman, he wipes out all of the people of the country. Now, Black Adam has always been an angry man, but the last words of Isis were telling Adam to avenge her and her brother. This causes him to go on a rampage around the earth, wiping out anyone who has any ties with Intergang, and this causes other countries to send in their superhero teams, especially America's, and he defeats them all. But before I get to that, I almost forgot to mention, just after he obliterated Bialia, he was met by Martian Manhunter, who couldn't beat Black Adam physically, so he tried using his telepathy to shut him down. But when he did, Martian Manhunter saw all the people that Black Adam had ever killed, and it almost drove Martian Manhunter mad. He had to fly into space to escape all the thoughts of everyone in the world. So yeah, after this he takes down the Teen Titans, the Doom Patrol, the JSA, China's super team. He's taking down everybody, and even Captain Marvel is there and they can't win. But they come up with a plan. Captain Marvel can't take away Black Adam's powers, but what he can do is change the word that Adam uses to transform. Martian Manhunter momentarily returns and blasts Black Adam with the torment of everyone he's killed, and even that does nothing more than temporarily pause Black Adam. But it's just enough time for Captain Marvel to do his thing, and Black Adam becomes powerless. His story doesn't end there though. He manages to escape the heroes who try to take him in for his crimes, and he travels the world as his mortal, unpowered self to find the missing remains of Isis in the hopes of bringing her back to life. And the lengths that he goes to are extreme. He has some of his loyal followers beat his face for 2 days so that nobody will recognize him. Ends up having to cannibalize some of those followers to survive while traveling through harsh environments, and even makes a deal with Faust, an evil wizard, which of course Faust betrays him. He does resurrect Isis, but he keeps her under his control while leading Adam to believe that the spell didn't work. Meanwhile, Adam shares some of his power with Mary Marvel, the sister of Billy Batson, and she becomes evil, which is kind of a weird plot point there. Now, eventually Black Adam figures out what happened and frees Isis from Faustus's control. But because of what Faust had done to her, as well as how she had died, she gives up her previously benevolent ways and asks Black Adam to commit mass genocide and wipe the earth clean, believing that humanity doesn't deserve to live. Members of the JSA, as well as the Marvel family, manage to intervene. They summon the wizard Shazam from his stasis, and he turns Black Adam and Isis into stone statues. And that is basically the end of Black Adam's story pre-Flashpoint. In 2011, DC rebooted with the New 52. The universe started over, all the characters were younger and were given updated origins. Black Adam's origin was changed in that he was no longer a prince who was given the power of Shazam, but a slave. He also had his nephew with him who was also granted the power, and instead of being given the power of 6 Egyptian gods, he was instead given the power of Shazam himself. How he was deemed evil was different as well. He actually killed his nephew to gain his share of the power, and also killed the Council of Eternity except for Shazam. Other than that, the rest of his history is fairly similar, albeit condensed. I haven't read any current DC comics in a couple of years, so I don't know if they changed Black Adam's origin again. Now, this isn't a detailed description of every single appearance of Black Adam, but I hope it was an informative summary of how his origin has changed over the years, as well as his motivation as a character, and of course, the raw power of Black Adam. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.